Hello, my name's Gwenna McIntosh. I'm from Just for Canines and Kitties 2 here in Lawton, Oklahoma. And today we're going to be working on Tamale. She needs her toenails done. And we're going to work on that. And I want to show you some of the tools that you can use in doing this and give you some hints on how to judge the toenail properly before you cut. I've got 3 different types of clippers here that they come in several different models. This is a guillotine, and a lot of people like these. I'm not a fan, but it also gives you a false sense of security on where the blade cuts. So you need to make sure that you know exactly where the blade is when you're cutting. This is a scissor type, but it's enclosed. I can do a pretty good sized dog's toenails with these, and I always bend these little things out of the way because they drive me nuts. You get going and then it locks. But these stay sharp a super long time, and I take the safety out of the way so that I know where I'm cutting. The safety is a false cutting edge for me. Okay, so they're scissor type, so you can get around toenails that are wrapped in a circle real easy with these. And if you ever have a toenail that is ingrown into a dog's paw or a cat's paw, you always look for the center of that toenail before you cut, because it's sometimes kind of hard to know which part is actually growing out of the animal. So you always go for the center. You cut the part that is supposed to be dead and will fall out normally, unless it's real bad. So always try to go for the center of the nail if it's wrapped into a circle and growing into the pad. A lot of people like the guillotine type, and I'm not a fan because this will bend and then you don't get a clean cut. Plus, you're very controlled on how big or small the toenail can be when using it. I like the scissor type more. This is really good I like these for when toenails are wrapped around into a circle, and I can get in there and get it a lot easier. You can use these on cats or dogs. On her, you're lucky because you can see the pink. You'll see a little bitty black area in front of the pink. When you see that little black area, that's kind of like the end of your finger, and you want to go just in front of that little bitty black area because the quick can go past that. I like to start with her pinky toe. And you'll see where the toenail starts to turn down, and she's going to play tug of war with me. That's okay, that's what dogs do. And where you start to see that turn down is where the toenail quick normally ends, where it starts to turn down. So you cut in front of that where it curves. Some dogs have a really tight curve, and some dogs, the way their feet are made, is that toe is more flat. The nail will go further out forward, which sends the quick out further too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on her pinky toe, and if you see that she has just a small area I can cut because there's the pink, there's the dark, and then the white is right there. On the black toenail, you're judging the same way. You just got to pretend you can see the quick. And if you clean the toenail off real good, sometimes you can see a little bit of red, give you a better idea. And we see the pink, the dark, and then the white. And I'm cutting it flat so that I got a good angle. On some dogs' toenails, their toenails are large enough to where you can kind of angle it back a little bit, and that allows the front of the toenail to hit the ground a little better, and it will push the quick back. So that after time, you're able to get the toenail shorter. Where see how it's angled back a little bit. This way, the front hits the ground and it pushes the quick back a little bit. I can do the same on this toe. But I gotta be really careful because we're really close to the quick. And to do the same thing with the dew claw. Now, sometimes with the dew claws you can use these because the dew claw has a tendency to wrap around. And you can use the scissors Now the scissors is nice because it opens up completely in the front. These are a circle. And because they're a circle, sometimes if the toenail is wrapped too tight, you can't get in there. So the scissor type works really well. There's several different sizes of scissor types. There's really small ones, and then they get really large for the great big guys. If I was to accidentally nick her, which can happen to anybody, and sometimes if their blood pressure's up because they're scared, they can bleed pretty good. And so we use a product, and it's a Quick Stop. The Quick Stop is used to cauterize the wound, plus it sterilizes it at the same time. If you are doing this at home and you don't have a product like this, then you can use cornstarch or flour to stop the bleeding. Just try to keep the dog calm and you calm at the same time. A lot of people get really upset. It's going to be okay. When we do it, we always want to make sure that the dog is in a controlled situation. The only dangerous part of a dog is their head. So you need to be able to hold the dog properly and keep their head under control. Sometimes that's a two-person situation where one person comes over, wraps their arm around the body, pulls the head close, and puts their shoulder into the crook of the neck so that they can't turn and bite. So we want to make sure on the back feet that we do the same thing. It's easier with the black toenails to look at the very end of the toe, and there'll be a little black dot in the center of the toenail. If there's a little black dot in the center of the toenail, once you trim it, that tells you that's as far as you need to go. Because past that little black dot, you're going to hit the quick, and that black dot is the dead end of the quick. A lot of people like to take off the rough edges. Some people use a Dremel. Tamale's kind of sensitive about that. So all I have to do is take a file and gently feather it off. And it doesn't take much. You don't have to sit there and grind on them for a few minutes. You're just taking off the burrs. And it's done. Black nails are always a problem. Don't worry, when the toenail starts to curve down, that's where it starts to curve down is where you cut. Just in front of the little, where it begins to curve. That's pretty much all I've got, and if anybody ever has questions, please give us a call and we will help you with that. Okay, thank you.
Your pet loves you. It's time to show them that you love them too. And the best way to do that is to get them a gift they'll love. Just for Canines and Kitty 2 carries all of the treats that your pet will be sure to want. And we also carry a huge selection of pet toys that will keep them happy for days. Bring them in and let them show you which snacks and toys they love the most. We welcome them because our pets are our family, and nothing is more important than that. Stop by today. Just for Canines and Kitty 2, your pet's favorite place to go.